different, and one doesn't mean the other. Like, me having a penis does not make me a man, or does not make me less of a woman.
I like what? Shorty right here, trans?
Children are...
Damn, boy. What the fuck they got this shit on? Shorty right here, trans? Say where is she trans?
3, 2, capable of understanding their gender identity. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, they strongly growing out, man. Hell no, though.
I was 6 years old, and I have a clear, vivid memory of telling a friend walking down the street,
That's a girl?
I think I would have been better off born a girl. And I had my whole family, like half my family telling me, you can't be that. My friend telling me, you'll never be female. And a therapist telling me, like, oh, you'll never look female. Your hands are too big. Your voice is too low.
She is a big-ass
and
bitch, though.
here I am, very female.
Right.
So I'd like to believe that I was right.
Yeah, I know when I was 7, I knew. But at the time, that was a few years ago.
Bro, besides Bruce Jenner, this is the oldest trans person I've ever seen in my life.
And there really wasn't any source of information available. But I knew there was something different about me. So kids know young, and we need to not necessarily say, okay, switch everything over right now, but we need to give them space to grow and understand.
Yeah, give them the
what it
space.
is.
Wait, time out though. Hold on. Is this a shorty? Why she got her nipples out? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a... Which gender is she? Or he? I don't know, man. I'm about to just shut up.
3, 2, 1, go.
That shit necessary, twin.
Gender norms and gender constructs, like, growing up, they hurt me. They were like, you're a boy, you can't, like, dress up, you can't play with dolls. That just, like, made me, like, start to think that I wasn't made correctly, or I wasn't right.
My view on gender roles as a whole is very based on my identity, because, like, I'm non-binary. There's no, like, non-binary gender role, There's like female and male, and then whatever's in between, you just kind of don't belong.
Which side
I feel like not belonging, I'm like kind of building my own role, which is kind of weird, but like if it didn't exist at all, I wouldn't have to. No one would have to try and fit.
Right.
No one would have to build their own role. And that's like a lot of where my view on this like stems from.
Yeah.
I'd like to throw one more thing in, is about gender roles and how hard I worked for 50 plus years trying to prove to the world I was the most masculine guy in the world. I spent a literal fortune buying every cool toy I could buy so I could go out and off-road better than anybody, fly an airplane better than anybody. I'll give you a hint, it doesn't work. It doesn't change who's inside of you. And so that whole concept of, well, you have to be this kind of a person or you're not whole, is just wrong.
Okay, so as much as the gender roles are hurting by being so constricting.
Bro, one thing I would say, bro, every time I look at like a transgender person, bro, the voice is always like, bro, yeah, like even though I know that they're trans, the voice always throws me off. Like it just, bro, like my brain and my ears my eyes and my ears are not processing the same thing, bro. It's so weird.
Also, that constriction a lot of that is what kind of helped me understand my trans identity. So the roles that are there, I didn't create them, but it exists. It exists. I don't want it to exist in some of the ways that it does, but it does. Do I believe this should be widened? Yeah. So that's really what I've come to.
So he got more.
Gender reassignment surgery is necessary to be transgender. 3, 2, 1, go.
But I don't know.
I'll go slightly here. There we go. But it depends on the person. It very much depends on the person.
100%.
For me, it was kind of important. It was just kind of the finishing step kind of thing. But a lot of people don't need it. The social transitions, the personal transitions and things that are much more important to people than the medical transition. But other people need that as a very important step to start their transition or finish their transition.
before you have surgery, before you have hormones, before you tell anybody, and maybe even before like you really have a grasp of like what it is you're experiencing, you can already be your gender. My gender was female from the point.
But isn't technically you're trans after you have everything done, or like when you're fully on the other side? Isn't that when you're trans, really? Because if I say I'm trans right now, am I really a girl right now? Like right now, am I really a girl? I'm saying, don't I have to do all like look like a girl, talk like a girl, walk like wouldn't I have to be an actual girl to say I'm trans?
That I, as a child, developed a sense of gender. I still get asked, like, oh, like when you had your surgery, do you feel like a woman now? And I was like, not any more than I did last week.
So why'd you
I guess,
that?
yeah.
For me, I could definitely like go without it and still be 100%.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, Shorty would have, I would have failed the eye test with her. I ain't gonna lie. Shorty would have caught me off guard. She would have, I'm not gonna lie.
100% happy, 100% like confident as a woman, but I think it's just kind of like a cherry on top and like what eventually I'm gonna need to like complete the whole circle.
Being physically female is not even in like the top 10 things that make me feel like a woman. Like me having a penis does not make me a man or does not make me less of a woman.
It's interesting to look at this. The young folk, the old folk. And that's what I've seen through the years, is that it's less and less important to the young transgender people, but it still needs to be available.
Dating is difficult for me. 3.
I know it's not difficult for Shorty to white.
Go.
Yeah, I already know it wasn't difficult for Shorty. Well, Shorty is on. Shorty over here is on either polar opposites, but it's either strongly agree or strongly disagree. Damn.
Dating is very hard. The only kind of people that I attract are people that want to like fetishize trans people. So they'll be like, you're so hot. I want to do this and this and this with you. But then I'm like, oh, but like, let's go out in public. Let's like go to dinner or something. They're like, ooh, I don't know about all that. Like, I don't want my friends to know I'm dating someone like you. And it's they feel like they have to come out as well as someone who's attracted to like a trans person.
I agree. It's confusing for them if they say like, oh, so am I like gay or something like that? And it's like, no, because I am attracted to straight men and like straight men are like attracted to me. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Nah, I don't though. I don't know what you mean. I don't fully understand. I don't.
Like liking penis and liking vagina like doesn't make you gay or straight. It's like
what does shit make you, bro? What does that make you? What does that make you, bro? So, bro, if I like dick, I'm not. So I'm gay. But if I like dick, I'm not gay. Bro, it's not.
Liking a man or liking a woman makes you gay or straight.
Exactly.
It's a little weird being like not a part of the binary, so people are really like, so what am I? What are you? Like, what is this?
Where do we fit together?
Yeah, it's kind of like, I think I like you, but I don't know what I like. What is this? I'm like, if you like, then take, you know?
They just want to like, they want to put like a label on everything.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
sometimes
I
we
think-
don't need that,
I just think people need to stop with like, oh, I'm attracted to men, or like, oh, this. It's like, no, you're attracted to like a human being. You're attracted to a person.
I'm attracted to women.
are risks to being transgender. 3, 2,
Me, personally, me.
1, go.
You're like, who is Jen Carter?
Transitioning is dangerous.
Yeah,
Transitioning
100%.
is not easy. Like,
Yeah, 'cause isn't it like
I've been beaten.
it's
I've had death threats.
It's
I've
irreversible.
had sexual assault. Someone threatened me of that.
Damn.
And I'm privileged in this community because of my race or because I transitioned younger. And the biggest problem is that trans women of color are the ones being murdered.
Wait, isn't Jen Carter the stud drill rapper? Isn't that the stud drill rapper?
In this country, that like trans people of color are the ones at risk. And this is the real issue that people need to know about. But like, it's totally worth it because you just, I mean, there's no life outside of this.
That's definitely real. That's real. So the fear of violence from others, yes, that's a risk. But I don't know. There's risks playing the stock market. There's a risk when you eat that McDonald's. Everything's a risk, you know, nowadays. But I feel like what's really worth it was my mental health. That's not a risk I'm willing to take, because that's the real death.
I love my body. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, we'll go off. Yeah, in my case,
Okay, now
I
he's got
really agree, because this is the body I got. And one of the biggest things I did for myself
seen
was
that
all
before,
during my
kind of.
cross-dressing days. I used to put on all the crazy foundation wear, trying to squeeze
His brother
myself
just
into something
very
that I didn't
tomboyish.
fit in. And I looked at myself one day and I said, you know, you look as good as X number of regular women. Have I made a few changes? Yes, but that doesn't change the fact that I love who I am and what my physical presence is.
It's just so hard. It's so hard because like being told like women have this and women look like this and women, and it's like, then I don't look like that. So I must hate my body then, because my body is what keeps me from looking like a woman. But then I like get out of that like toxic mindset and I'm just like, wait, I am a woman.
I wish I had said strongly agree, but that's not the truth. And the truth is that I love my mind.
Bro, if she's a woman, isn't this public nudity, bro? She got her whole tatas out, bro. She got her whole tatas. The tatas is showing.
I love my life, but there are days that I have where my self-esteem issues are so bad that I can't leave the room. And I almost didn't even go to my college graduation because I was like, I'm not female enough to graduate college or something. And all that being said, I have no regrets that was the thing, because if I hadn't transitioned, I just wouldn't have a life at all.
Sheesh.
Sometimes I wish I wasn't transgender.
Sheesh.
3, 2, 1, go.
Literally me.
I often have told people that,
So
you know,
front
this
load
is not
dramatic.
something I
Front
would
load
wish
dramatic.
purposefully on my worst enemy. You know, it's not pleasant. You go through all sorts of interesting changes. It cost me my spouse that I love dearly, but it was so important to me that it had to happen that I'm pleased that I did it. It's the best thing I've ever done in my life, but it's also something I'd never wish on anybody else on purpose.
For me, it's I'm disagreeing, because it's not the fact that I'm trans that I don't like. It's the discrimination that I face that I don't like. The intersections that I hold, being black, being trans, you know, you find like discrimination comes at you in different ways. And so that's really what I could do without.
Yeah, I think the main thing that I just like hate, like everyone else is saying, is the discrimination, because it's the fact that like, oh, if I'm in a certain situation, or oh, I'm somewhere, like I have to worry about my safety for like literally being like who I am in that sense. And it's like nobody should have to worry about like whether they're gonna like make it through something just for like being themselves.
So true.
Obviously, I don't think this will ever like go away fully, but as I was like coming out, it like, I would like have times where I was like, God, I wish I wasn't like this. Like, I wish I wasn't trans, because then like my life would be easier. I wish I was born a woman, or I wish that I was just like comfortable being male. And then I realized that like if I was born a female, like I wouldn't be a part of the LGBTQ community. I wouldn't have gone through the struggles that I have gone through, and like I would be a completely different person. And I love who I am, and so I don't think I would want to change that. And I'm proud to be trans.
Everybody on this side.
No, that's some real old head shit though. Like the way she's taking a selfie, that's some real.
I love that, yeah.
Hey guys, I'm Michael.
And I'm Jason.
Thank you so much for watching this
Hey, Jason.
episode. It was really awesome to do this episode during Pride Month especially, so we are so excited to hear